Hey everybody, welcome to our podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Karen.
This is Walking Dead episode 79.
And you suck.
Who would
You already made me so cry.
Yeah, I'm sad too.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so we're
Sad
going to try to cheer ourselves up this episode.
Here's to you.
Here's you, Jason. Here's you, listener. Woo.
Yeah, that was very well, as soon as it was over on Facebook, I felt like I got punched in the gut. How do you feel? I got a lot of, and somebody on Twitter said, we'll think how Lori feels. I was like, yeah, that's good. But man, what a blow. What an emotionally wrenching episode.
Yes.
We'll get into how we liked it in a minute. First, I want to take care of some business. So on the bright side, our Who Dies First contest is over. We have a winner. Congratulations, you heartless person. Guess who of our friends would be gone?
Did you see what one of our listeners said, Susan Ford Johnson, who said it was T-Dog by neck?
Yeah, that's good. So some people said they'd be interested in the breakdowns of who guessed, how many people guessed for each person. But do that, no, I'm kidding. So about 39 people entered the contest, and here's how it broke down. 14 people thought Herschel died. He got the most votes. Then 10 thought Beth would die first. 6 for Carol. 3 for T-Dog. 2 for Lori. 1 for Maggie. And 1 for Lori's baby. I don't know if that counts, but it doesn't matter because Lori's baby lived so far.
So far?
Yeah, most people guessed Herschel. I guess Herschel. I guess Herschel's just too obvious. I would say, it's pretty clear that it was, who would you say?
T-Dog.
Yeah, T-Dog.
T-Dog.
So we have 3 people who guessed that T-Dog died first. I've written their names on some little tabs here. By the way, if you don't know this, for our Who Dies First contest, the winner gets a special edition Walking Dead 100, which is equally depressing as this episode. So it's fitting. And it's worth, I think it's worth somewhere around $100 because Karen and I got these editions when we went to the Walking Dead Escape marathon thing. What was it? Obstacle course in San Diego.
That's very generous of me.
I know, you gave yours away ahead of time, but anyway, thank you. And so, shall we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
You pick a name.
Okay.
Okay, who's the winner?
The winner is Conrad Paulson.
Conrad, that's cool name.
Dun, dun. Well, congratulations,
Conrad.
And reading week, literally.
So Conrad, I'll send you an email in case you want to hear this, and you can let me know where to send those.
Well done, Conrad. Nice to meet you.
Should we just get right into it?
Let's get right into it, man.
Attention shoppers, Vidcast top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
So did you like it?
I loved it.
You did?
I loved
Some
it.
people, if it's real sad like that, they hate it. Like, I know this one woman, if the movie has a sad ending, she hates the movie no matter how good it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not me. I like me to cry.
Yeah. It's true. Like when you, this is corny, but a lot of people, mostly guys, not mostly, but half and half, I would say, of our listeners said they cried. And, this is a little corny, but I think it is good when you get in touch with an emotion like that. It feels good. It's like a good release.
Yeah, it's cathartic.
Yeah, and it's a mark of, for me anyway, a good piece of art that can make you feel that much. I mean, sometimes things can be a little cheap in the way that they get their reactions, but I really felt pretty deeply in this one, especially in the TV show. I was like, really affected. Me and Jenny, we watched it, in the living room, and when it was over, we just sat there in silence for a good few minutes, sort of processing.
Wow.
But
Yeah,
anyways,
that's my good episode. So how many gaps did you give it?
4.5.
And
Right.
I did the same. So I gave 4.5 points.
I thought it was the saddest, most depressing episode of the show yet, but well done and very moving. I loved it. And I hope that every episode is not like this, but I liked it.
It keeps going. Yeah.
It can be. I mean, there's no way. I mean, pretty soon there'll be no real for one thing. But another thing I've said often is you sort of get to have the same experience that people have in zombie apocalypse, where when they keep losing people, after a while you get numb to it.
Right,
Maybe we'll see how it is.
I don't know, Rick Lundgren.
No, but he hasn't lost a lot of people yet. I think.
Right.
This was the big one.
Yeah. So that actually, if you don't mind, I'll tell you what
I just want to say one more thing. That I knew something big was happening because I started getting emails at like 6:15 last night. I saw one tweet. It said, "Dang, I was just starting to like T-Dog," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, read anymore." No, I had it so set in my mind that they were keeping T-Dog around to interact with Merle that it maybe somewhere way in the back of my mind that I think that he was dead. But mostly I just was thinking, "Oh, what happened to T-Dog? Did he turn evil now? Is he the one that was spying on them?" I just started concocting all these stories like that was like the denial phase.
Have you gone to extent yet?
Yeah, I've done so we got a crap load of emails on this, more like twice as much as we usually get.
I'm Myron Anger.
You sent this. Okay, so
Yes. So speaking of pace, my 5 is pace. Last season, my major complaint was things dragged, and they went on, I thought, needlessly long. And pace now, it's killer, no pun intended. This season, it is moving along at a crazy clip, and every episode so far has been amazing. And yeah, you're right. I don't think they're going to keep up pace. I think they're going to.
Well, last episode was slower.
Yeah,
It was interesting.
Right,
but it was a different kind of feeling.
Right, because last time we got to meet the good people of Woodbury.
Yeah. So did you like the way that it went back and forth between Woodbury and the prison?
Now I do. Yeah.
I mean, in this episode.
Yes. Now that we have a whole episode behind us, we've established what's going on in Woodbury. We've got answers about Woodbury. There's not a whole lot of mystery about Woodbury at this point. We kind of know that Governor Philip is badass and not in a good way. Yeah, I like how it went back and forth. And I also like that they went ahead and set up a mystery and then sort of solved the mystery in some episode. They're not dragging things on. Where's Sophia? Episode. This time it was there's mystery and it actually got solved. I'll talk about that next.
So speaking of Sophia, did you? How does the impact of this episode compare with the mid-season finale last year when Sophia came out of the barn?
When Sophia came out of the barn, I was like, oh man, that's unbelievably sad. It was shocking. It was sad.
It's like you
and
accidentally threw a ball of defense, like that
no,
level of sadness.
no, nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
This is a whole different. I think Sarah and Callies hit it out of the park, and as did Chandler Riggs. I think both of them, and Lauren Cohen, all 3 of them in that. I'll talk about that a little bit. They were amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Lauren Cohen, I thought she was really good because she didn't overdo it. She got to that place where you can be when you're in really upsetting circumstances, but you have a job to do,
Right.
so you just focus and do it.
Yeah.
She looked upset, but she wasn't hysterical or overly intense. She just like, Carl, can you give me your hand? I'm not sure if it's the arm or the leg. And,
Right. She killed him perfectly.
As far as like going back and forth, I liked it too, but I thought that the intensity levels were so different that it was kind of jarring. I mean, I liked it, don't get me wrong, but it was almost funny. Like they show Andrea flirting with the governor, and then they show somebody, T-Dog's neck getting chewed off. Like, in the next scene, like, whoa, what happened there?
Pretty stark contrast for sure.
Yeah, it worked. I mean, I'm glad they did it. I like how they had a whole prison episode, then Woodbury, now we get a little bit of both. So very good. Okay, number 5. I just had a few random thoughts about the prison. I was just thinking the prison isn't turning out to be that great of an idea. Like, they spent the whole winter surviving, not didn't lose one person. They are in prison for a week. Herschel's leg's gone. 2 people are gone.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it would make you kind of wonder. Oh, maybe we should not stay here.
Maybe it's a bad
Yeah.
idea.
I mean, on the other hand, maybe now that they, Andrew's gone, maybe they think, okay, now we can manage it. I don't know. You think they might want to leave, but or at least kill those other 2 prisoners. Which I'm not saying they should, but if I was in their place, I might want to just to make sure that nothing else happens, like Carl or something.
By the way, are you in the camp that this is all Rick's fault?
Well, I do think this is in hindsight that he should have went and made sure that Andrew was dead. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Because he left him out there. And by the way, you were one who questioned whether he was dead. And I wrote it. I'm like, oh, of course he's on screen, but we should have known
Yeah,
that.
he has mad fence playing skills.
Yeah, he got away and he was like all over the prison, setting off alarms, opening gates, luring zombies around. He's a master. He's like one of those Marvel characters, villains that sets up these like evil user arcs for the heroes to go through.
He got a deer. How did he get a deer?
I don't know.
Somehow he backed himself a deer and brought it back. So I mean,
He's fast.
yeah, he had to be.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things where he's not directly at fault, but he did kind of mess up there, yeah. And then the last thing I want to mention about the prison is I noticed that when Glenn was across the waterway there, he said, check it out, and Rick said, no, if the armory hadn't been clean, we could spray the ammo. So I think that's when the first time we found out the armory is picked clean. Yeah, and I don't think it was in Confident Remember for sure, but I remember thinking it was kind of bogus when they went to the Rick's police station, there were a bunch of guns in that thing's bag of guns.
Right.
And so I'm glad that it makes sense that it would be picked clean,
Right.
So that was a good little bit there.
Right.
That's it.
Okay, number 4 is I'm a sucker for the genre, and I love it when zombies attack. And it was shocking. I was surprised. And
Yeah, the way they played that with Herschel going out and his first day out, so he's a total gimp.
Yeah.
And then having to beat him away with his crutch.
so if you're wondering, does the guy just beat a bunch of zombies? The answer is yes. And it was so sad when Glenn yelled when he saw the rocker, man, can't we just have one good day?
Yeah.
The answer is no.
No,
You can't.
you shouldn't have said that.
I just love how big everyone scattered, and it was a big cluster beat.
Yeah, I loved it too. I loved how startling it was that they Walker's beard, and it was like the most vulnerable. Well, actually, it wasn't because Carl was there. He's not really vulnerable anymore. But it was Carl, Herschel, and Beth who were the closest to them. And they cheated a little. Like when I watched the second time, I noticed that they had camera on Carl, Herschel, and Beth. No Walker's around. And they go over to the other people, and they're all kind of marveling at how tough Herschel is, able to walk his first day back to health. And then when they go back to that same camera shot, the Walkers are just there.
They're there,
And they're like, well, they're out there, like right behind them. And so you kind of wonder what Glenn was doing. They're like, because you didn't see notes. But it was okay because it just produced this oh shit moment.
Right.
Oh, and then they all scatter. And I also have to wonder how many times it's going to work to have them running through the hallways of the prison and have us be intense about that and not get bored of their things. But it totally worked this time.
It totally
They haven't
worked.
running through there. That had something to do with it.
Right.
It's so vulnerable. And plus, it was supposed to be before. I think they went through there for the most part. They sort of decided where to go through to clear this out. Now we're sort of forced in.
I also loved how they showed Rick and I forget who the people were. They were outside the
Glenn,
fence. Yeah,
yeah,
and they
stuck.
were stuck in it. They saw it all unfolding, and they were too far away to be able to help. And they just had to book it back, and oh man,
Yeah.
it's so sad.
Yeah, that sucked. And then they had to go through his dozens of keys and try to find the right one.
Yeah, that seems like a nightmare right there.
Okay, so we move on.
Yeah.
Actually, that was my number 4 too. So go first.
Okay, my number 3 is I loved the one episode mystery, starting with the intro, the killing of the deer, the beating of the Zeds, breaking the lock, opening the gate, opening the heart, the opening. I was like, what the f? And I thought it was the prisoners. I thought it was Oscar and Axel. And I love the fact that we find out who it was, and it was great. I mean, I just thought it was fantastic. I mean, Andrew probably do looking at Carol
Yeah,
performing that.
that's the only way that it isn't quite contained because they had a little foreshadowing back then. But
Right.
just a little thing.
Right.
I'm sure that was him watching them.
Right. Yeah, I like getting answers in the
Yes.
same episode. Pretty great.
Yeah, as opposed to a show like Lost where you never get them. But anyway.
Or maybe you get, yeah, exactly. Maybe you get later in the answers.
Yeah, I agree. And it's good to have an overarching mythology, and I think they're really establishing that with the governor and
Right,
Woodbury,
right.
where we don't really have all the answers there, and we know that there's great stuff to come when surely Rick will meet the governor probably, or some kind of conflict there. But then we get our little 21 episodes where things get resolved quickly. So yeah, I agree.
And having said that, there's one remaining mystery, which is where's Carol?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they set up something,
Yeah.
and I'm sure Carol's alive.
I think so, too.
Yeah,
I think she's dead.
no, I mean it would be kind of weird to have them just find her dead or something.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
Like T-Dog sacrificed himself for her, so I don't know where she though. I mean, is she being held captive by one of the other prisoners? Seems like if they're going to bother to have her go missing, they should have some kind of interesting resolution. Maybe she became a zombie, went back to that barn to be Sophia. Who knows?
Reunited Zombieland.
They should open some door and have Carol lock out and play the same music that Sophia did.
Awful idea. Moving along.
You hate Carol.
I like Carol. Actually, I do now.
Now you do.
Yeah,
But all that learning how to do the C-section was for naught, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not only because she wasn't with Lori when she needed it, but also because Lori conveniently had that C-section scar right there that she just traced anyway. But that was a nice touch, you know.
Yeah.
All the
He's got
calls there.
all that.
That was a nice touch. Okay, where are we? Number 3. My number 3 highlight is winning a frosty pole behind from Karen because I'd say it's pretty clear that Andrea wants to trust the governor. That her whole spiel is not about being skeptical. You agree?
I do.
Yeah,
I
she's a little suspicious, but
No, I thought the curtain last night was, oh my god, I owe Jason Hyde.
good. See, I love that because I think a lot of the co-hosts would still continue to dig deals in and try to argue.
No, she's clearly at this point kind of. I think so. She's kind of a good guy over him. I mean, if she is in fact still being trying to get information out of him, she's not doing a very good
No,
job.
she's arguing with Michonne about it.
Yeah,
and
she's doing. Sorry,
You can cuss
sorry. Wow, I blame my husband. She's giving directions to the farm.
Right.
Yeah, she doesn't know
She's
they're
giving a lot
not there.
of
So she's
information.
giving
Right, that's
information to Merle. Yeah, and so she clearly trusts
I hate her.
I love her.
And
I still love her.
there's something else dumb that I thought that she did. I can't remember what it was. I'll think of it
She
again.
drank the Tito, and I think that's key.
Oh
And
yeah,
we
we
saw
haven't
the
bet on that.
Tito.
Another frosty pole behind.
Right.
And I'm not sure myself on that one, but I still stick with my guns. I thought it was cool that Michonne kind of played detective, and it gave me before I didn't see reasons why it should be so suspicious, but now I do because she's seeing these bullet holes and blood, and wondering where the helicopter pilot landed and not believing the governor, and also thinking about the army guys and how isn't it weird that not at least one of them didn't get away and drive away. So she's got some good points there that if you really thought about it, you come to.
Yeah, I agree. She was talking to the governor, Philip, and he was saying, yeah, it's a good thing. Thank God at least no one knew him. And she's like, thank God, you tell.
Yeah, oh yeah, she meant thank God for your sake because then you got to kill him and nobody cared because they didn't know him.
Right, exactly. Put in your zombie aquarium.
And it makes sense for story that one of the two, Michonne and Andrea, would be very skeptical, and the other one would want to believe so that they can have conflict with each other. And Andrea sort of Michonne reluctantly sticking around probably just because she cares about Andrea, doesn't want to see her.
Also, who wants to go out there and be by yourself? I mean,
Yeah.
it's nice to have somebody watch your back.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people in Woodbury, even if they were suspicious, they'd say, oh, I don't care because they feel safe there.
I'm afraid that would be me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, I might see.
Depending on how bad the things you saw were.
Right, exactly. But if I was sort of beaten down by the whole by Zombieland,
Yeah.
I might come in there and see that cushy bed and think, that's right.
Yep. And my friend Dan says that episode is a metaphor for the United States. Not here.
Yeah.
That's my friend Dan, not me.
Yeah.
So your turn, right? 3 or no, 2, yeah.
Yeah, Lori is having the baby. That was my number 2. It was from start to finish. She's running through and thinking, oh, look at that pregnant girl run. And then she starts to hang on to the sides of the walls in the prison and think, oh, that's not good. And
Reminding me of Jenny when she was pregnant.
Really?
Yeah, because one thing about TV pregnancies is they're way shorter than real ones in labor. I mean,
Yeah.
And so usually women labor for hours, many hours, sometimes a day. And anyway, so during that time we would take little walks and then she'd have a contraction and she'd stop and hold and grab on something and bear down in pain. She would push like Lori was, but she'd breathe real heavy and I'm like, I hate this.
right. Well, Lori's labor had just started, but it could have gone on and on. It wasn't like she started labor and then was
Something
delivering.
happened that was off though because if it was normal labor, she could just keep having contractions and not have to rush it like that. Not say, quick, give me a C-section.
Quick,
Right?
yeah, I thought so too. I thought, well, couldn't they just carry her? Wait until the Zeds had shuffled by and then somehow gotten her to her. They didn't really know what had happened.
Yeah, well, and I also think it wasn't normal. Like something had gone wrong.
There was a lot of blood.
Yeah, there was a lot of blood. I think she needed to have the C-section right away. And the writer said that they really did a lot of research on that and planned it out carefully. So I should ask Jenny, but I'm sure that they thought of a scenario where you need to do that quickly.
Yeah, and we said before, but I'm gonna say it again. All the actors and actresses really stepped up in that scene, and it was just so heartbreaking, really, really sad. And especially when they sort of foreshadowed a little bit when Lori looked at Rick and earlier when Herschel came out, she was leaving Herschel out, and Rick even sort of gave her a little nod, and you started to think, oh, maybe they had a moment, maybe a little moment of nice.
Yes,
and,
yeah.
And that was the
That was their last communication. It was very effective how they flashed back to Rick and his talk with Carl saying, everybody's gonna die and you're not gonna be ready for it.
It's time to grow up.
And they played the same music, and that music, it just felt old to me. Like I'm sure they played that in the first season, so it just felt like, oh, yeah, we've been with these people through so much. And
That music was absolutely heartbreaking. The Fair Mercury, right? Yeah.
what if they flashed back to when Lori was like whispering to Rick that she'd kill Shane? That wouldn't have been
wouldn't have been
or when
as
Shane and Lori were having sex in the woods. Just to kind of go back where the baby started from.
that-
Now, baby starts, now we're living the baby. That was a TV writer.
One of our listeners named the baby Rick Shane.
The writer said that, or something, I forget, maybe it was Kirkman. Somebody said, we don't know for sure whose baby is, but it's probably Shane's. Something like that, yeah.
Oh, well, ain't Shane's now, Rick. He can't fall to pieces. He's got to take care of that little life.
Yep, or hand it over to somebody.
So yeah, exactly. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is T-Dog. T-Dog's death. So I've heard a lot of this. I agree. I'm bummed that he didn't have more story. I was so hoping that he would have a chance to interact with Merle or do something else. They would give that actor because I really think that it's wonder potential. He went out like a hero, and there was a part of me that was like, yeah, do something good, get right on T-Dog. But then there's another part of me that like, I don't know, they're just trying to make me be okay with it by doing that. I felt a little manipulated. Yeah, like they said several times. Lazar said he wants the deaths on the show to mean something, and I like that. But also in the comics sometimes things just happen out of nowhere, and it's like, holy crap, that person's dead now, and they realize that like you don't see it coming. And I guess you didn't really see it, but there's no meaning to it, and that seems almost worse sometimes. But having said all that, I still like the way it played out. I like T-Dog saying God has a plan, and after he got bit, he went to that. There's something endearing about that to me that he would still try and think positively after being bitten by a zombie.
Yeah.
We also learned that if you have a stupid name like T-Dog, trying to get fat Tony on the show, you're gonna die. Or Lori. So if there's some new guy named like Brainy Bill or something.
Right, Brainy Bill, delicious Brainy Bill. That's a bad name to have in zombie apocalypse. Yeah, okay, so my number 1 is kind of riffing on that, which is there are 2 big hero deaths, and I like both hero deaths. We've never had hero death. We had 2 in this episode. I just don't think we had hero deaths.
No, I
and
think so,
the 2
yeah.
I'm referring to, so T-Dog, he went out like here. Yay, T-Dog!
No, Lori.
Lori, she was great. She died to save a baby, and man, it was hard to watch. By the way, I watched. Did you see Talking Dead
No,
afterwards?
T-Dog was on there,
T-Dog was on. He seems
right?
and India on her. Yeah, he's great actually. It's funny though, they really paid attention to T-Dog's death. They didn't really touch on too much on Lori. They mentioned her a little bit. It was because I was the
Yeah.
so they were
I've been around for interviews and stuff. I have a ton of material from her, and almost none. I couldn't find anything from him.
Oh,
Anyway, so,
okay.
yeah.
He's great.
Good.
He's
Isn't he like a totally different person? Like he's got personality.
Oh yeah, he's really engaging, and he's on a new upcoming new show. He co-stars in it. They asked about the neck bite, and is it real or is it CGI? And he said sort of both because it was both a prosthetic piece of the neck. I think it was CGI.
They do a lot of that.
Yeah. So that was my number 1. I love the hero deaths.
In honor of Sarah Wayne Callies, here's a clip from Sarah Wayne Callies.
Oh, that's
That's right. So my number 1 was Lori's death, which we kind of talked about. I mean, I was surprised by how much losing Lori. I mean, for one thing, we didn't expect it. I expected her to die, but not this early.
Yeah.
Episode 4.
Pretty
I thought
early.
it would be episode 8 at the earliest, the mid-season finale. This has been the hardest of any so far. I mean, we've lost the 2 other big ones are Dale and Shane. Dale, I was sad to lose, but that was almost more because of the potential I thought his character had than what we've been through. And Shane, I was kind of sad to see go because he adds a golden magic but I was ready for him to go because he's such an ass, on the show. And it was just well done. So this was like, oh my god, somebody got pulled out.
Yeah.
And even though it did kind of help that she's been so annoying lately, because I think that does help me accept. I mean, not lately, for the whole series. Like she's
Actually,
an annoying person.
maybe she's less annoying.
Yeah, which made it harder. But the fact that she's a controversial, kind of unlikable character in general did help. But it was still really hard because I felt bad for Rick and Carl, especially Rick when he cried like that.
Oh, it's
His
terrible.
face is just like when Nico cries. You know, and I go, I melt and get him whenever he wants. It's like that. I know.
Yeah, and I'm sure definitely finding two motherless children.
Yeah, that too. This is the first. Well, Amy, I forgot Amy, but we don't know. This is the first like prominent woman who's died.
And this is really not good for this infant because the infant really needs her mama.
Yeah, they lost their mama. That's super sad.
I don't know how they're going to be able to feed said infant because my guess is there's not a lot of formula at a prison commissary.
Well, one of the listeners, speculator, questioned whether the pregnant women in Woodbury might help. I don't know if they'll be able
Winners?
to. Yeah, but they're nowhere near being close together right now. The pace is so fast that you never know.
They might, yeah.
We have to do something.
Maybe in the last 6 or 7 months, as they've been gathering crap throughout their travels, maybe they picked up some formula here and there.
I doubt it. I mean, in the scenes from next week, Herschel mentions
Right, going
something
with
about,
Going to the market. We're going to the market.
yeah, you mentioned Rick and Morty had that one last meaningful look. I mean, just the fact that she was annoying made it sad, but not like I'm not going to watch this anymore. They killed my favorite character.
Right.
You know, like if they would have killed Rick or Glenn or something, then you might feel like that was a mistake. But I think most people probably won't have that like anger like they would if one of their favorite characters died. You know, even though they're moved by it. I was totally waiting for a zombie baby. Were you?
No, I really felt like
It was I did too, but then when it came out, it didn't look very good. It looked like a doll, and then it didn't make any noise, and I really think they were fucking with us.
Yeah.
It was an emotional scene. Like, let's just keep quiet for a few extra seconds. And Maggie kind of tapped on his chest and he started crying. Like, thank God, I hate zombie babies. And yeah, it's just a very well done scene. Sarah Wayne Callies added some lines in there.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
They were in there before?
Yeah, I'll read that one too.
Okay, good.
So that's my number one notes.
That was my number one.
Yeah.
We're done.
So a couple just random notes. The governor at one point mentions, his wife got killed by a car accident. You catch that?
Yeah.
And then he goes, it's just my daughter and me.
And
So
where's
I'm
your
like,
daughter?
why haven't you seen her?
Why was your daughter? Wait, also, speaking of governor, do you think that governor Philip Davidson because he wants to take place in Baltic Desert?
That was well, zombie kill of the week was for me Glenn doing Fruit Ninja on that one zombie. For some reason, like the Fruit Ninja method of killing zombies, I'm a sucker for it. Just chops everyone in half. But
I can see that.
but so if only that golf ball had killed that zombie, which I don't think it did, that would have probably been it was so awesome.
Oh, now that would have been some good
Saw that, right?
shooting. Yeah,
Clocked him right in the
that would have been some good shooting. By the way, why was he hitting golf balls in Zombieland? Shouldn't he have been hitting golf balls back in Woodbury? Because you have to find a number of golf balls.
Then we're allowed to get him. It was good practice. Yeah, fetch it. So I liked how they show him hit the ball and it's just trashy chaos out there.
Yeah.
And then when you turn around and the rest of the Woodbury's all nice and nice contrast there where the wall is.
But you can feel that there's potential. I mean, there is trashy, but there's beautiful homes.
Yeah, they can stand.
They can stand. Right.
So Carl and Beth are still smiling at each other. What are they doing with that storyline? I mean, they're still giving kind of looks at each other.
They're nice. They're
All right, but they only have so much time in each episode. There's certain things, some attention to that.
They
Some
are,
story will go. I think it's just so that when Beth eats it, it'll be that much harder for Carl. But we'll see.
I think so.
So what else? Andrea seems to have some resentment towards the other group. She said,
she
Will's
does.
like, don't you want to live for him? And then he's like, oh, we got something in common. They left both of us. And she said, I'm sure they came back. I didn't stick around and find out. And I thought, yeah, that's true. I mean, she could have just taken Michonne back to Sophia's spot and met with the rest of them, but she didn't. She's the only one who didn't show up. So she might have just had another reason, a feeling that she didn't want to be with them anymore, maybe.
Did she get separated from the group in the comic?
You know what? We keep getting dinged for spoiling stuff.
Okay,
So I'm going to be really careful from now on about not talking about the comic. Not only because it might spoil something in the show, but people who want to read the comic probably don't want to be spoiled on that experience. You know what I mean? I know they said that. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, it occurred to me the other day that I can actually start reading the comics. No, I'm behind the comic. I can actually start reading the comic.
Yes, you can. Yeah, because there's many issues.
And then you're gonna have to tell me to stop.
Okay, I'll look at it. Just a couple more. When Oscar had the gun on Rick, this is random, but I thought it'd be funny if Rick was like, he reaches out and he's like, hold on, Oscar, we can just pretend like none of this happened. It's all gonna be okay. And then grab a gun and stab him in the stomach.
Yes,
Give it a shame.
nice.
Rick's signature move. Okay, so let's move on.
Let's do it, man.
Let's move on to the news. First thing, the only non-popular related thing, Stephen King's novel Cell, which I read the first couple chapters of, I thought was awesome, but I didn't finish it. I will. It tells the story of a father's journey to find both his wife and his son after a signal broadcast that all cell phones turns people on the phones into mindless zombie-like killers. So it's like 90% population right. Anyway, that's made into a movie starring John Cusack.
Interesting.
So I think that's cool. I like John Cusack like that. But we haven't found a director yet, but I think it's really good. Okay, then our Hollywood reporter said the decision to move up Laurie's death was to make sure that Rick was suffering as much as possible. I heard an interview with Andrew Lincoln before, and he said he made the mistake of telling the writers that he wants, or asking what would it take to push Rick to his breaking point, and he's like, and they've really been doing it now. He's like, I never said that.
Yeah.
But so he says, to move up Laurie's death was to make sure that Rick was suffering as much as possible. The Rick was breaking point at the exact moment that his most formidable foe, the governor, was coming right for him. The Rick at the end of episode 2 was back and take on the governor, but the Rick at the end of episode 4 is broken man.
Oh, they can't get that because he's got no. He has a son.
He's nuts now. No, I don't know. We'll see. But he's probably gonna be a little sad that he lost his wife.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Irene Singleton on Hollywood Reporter. Singleton called watching the episode, this last episode, a surreal experience, and saw the hour for the first time on the set of The Talking Dead. That was the first time he saw it. He says, I'm totally and completely satisfied with how the show went. I had no idea it was going to go so heroically. When I was first cast, I was told I'd do 2, maybe 3 episodes. I wanted to stay for 3 seasons. I'm so thankful for that. When I got the death call from Glenn, he was very gracious and appreciative. The death call. When I read the script and was told T-Dog was going to die, and when I read it, I was thankful he was a hero. It made me feel really good, really appreciated.
Yep. Not everyone's got a hero.
The only part that really made me feel good is that we found out that they said he was probably going to go after a couple episodes.
Make him
So,
more.
yeah, he says they have a death dinner tradition on set where one of the characters, when dies, they'll get together for a last supper, and they hand out mementos, and his was the riot shield he's using on the show.
They signed.
Oh, they
Yeah, they actually showed it. They showed him there and the rest of the cast around him and Samantha video camera and Andrew Lincoln came up behind him, gave him a big bear hug, and Stephen Young came up and hugged him over. It was very sweet.
Sarah, here's Sarah Wayne Callies. This is from Elon.com. She says, Frank Darabont and I talked a lot about the necessity of Lori dying. And we thought about it. I spoke to Frank about that at a certain point, and he goes, I don't need to kill you. And I said, with all due respect, sir, yes, you do. When I spoke to Glenn Nazar in November of last year, there was a different timeline. Yeah, I don't think Frank realized that she meant in the show. He thought she was actually calling him killer. No, I'm just kidding. So she talked to Glenn about it, and there was a different timeline. But then in March, they moved it up to episode 4. So it was supposed to be later in the season.
Right.
She said, I don't know why it felt like a whiny question to ask. All I said was, yes, sir, send me the script. I'll make the best I can. She says, Chandler Riggs and I didn't really talk at all the week that we were shooting that because we couldn't really look at each other without losing it. I love that kid. And yeah, it's hard to kid. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Says there were a couple of things I said that weren't on the page. The great gift of the scene was that I got to say everything I wanted to say to Chandler and to the show and cast. People have asked, how does it feel to leave the show? It's all there in that scene. I love Lori. She's one of those characters that lived in my heart for a long time. I learned so much from her. What do you think she learned? Not to be
Hey, she redeemed herself though. I think I changed my mind about her actually. I think she was as one of our writers said she was ill-equipped to handle the zombie apocalypse and pregnancy at the same time. Somebody also said in an interview that she always looked at pregnancy as a death sentence.
Yeah, well, she just mentioned a few episodes ago that people women die in childbirth.
Right.
We didn't really think that's what happened. I don't think.
Right. I think you have a vet. You have a vet. What could go wrong?
On the possibility of returning in some way, she says, to be honest, I haven't really thought about past episode 4. The writers have anything that serves the story I'm in. On NCTV.com, they asked looking back what some favorite memories from being on the show. She says, one of my favorite moments was watching Andy Lincoln drive. I think he got his license about a year before we started the show, and he's English. Watching Andy try and drive Cherokee was hilarious. At certain points, we had to pull over because green flames were coming out of the hood. Never really get into gear because the labels that showed you what year you were on. That's pretty bad. That's true.
You're grinding out
That's right. And then he said, was there anything about playing a pregnant woman that was similar to the experience of being pregnant? That belly, the pregnancy was a trip. No matter what I had for breakfast, when I put that belly on, I was starving every time. People just knew eventually, and they would have a chicken sandwich ready for me. They had the belly in foam originally, but I told them to put 15 pounds in. Boy, they would weigh, so I wouldn't have to act it. They jacked up my back pretty good, but playing a pregnant woman was way easier to get off. This is from EntertainmentWeekly.com. So Glenn told this interviewer that the scene in episode 2 where Maggie is talking to Herschel, remember, who's unconscious, was based on what Glenn Nazar said to his mother when she was dying, which was this year, I think. And he also told the interviewer that what Lori said to Carl here in episode 4 before dying was Glenn thinking about his own mom if she didn't have responded to that conversation. So they asked, did he share that with you? And it was that personal. She goes, he did. We worked on those lines together for a couple weeks, and some of those lines were his and some are mine. Some of the things that I put in there came from things that I heard him say that he hadn't put into the script. I just thought it belongs there. Like, you're the best thing I ever did. I heard him say that, but it wasn't in the script, and I thought that's how parents feel. That all seems so real. It doesn't surprise me that so it was just coming out, sweet boy.
Yeah, it felt really real.
Yeah, I cried.
And by the way, it looks like in my opinion, Sarah Wayne Callies could use a couple more chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, I know. They weren't giving her enough.
He didn't have Sarah Wayne Callies.
Maybe she's got a little pot belly into that pregnancy now. We couldn't see. She says, I asked Andy to come the day we were shooting that final scene, and I said, I want you to be there for Chandler. I want to know that Andy's still here, and Andy's going to for the whole time, and he won't leave because John left him, John Marple, Jeff left him, I left him, and those were the people he started with. So Andrew was there and he handled it so perfectly from one actor to another. There was no amount of patronizing or grown-up talking to kid thing.
Oh, that's really sad. Shane left him. Dale left him.
And he's growing up on the show. You know, I wish we could interview him again because I bet it would be a much different interview when we first talked to him.
Yeah, that was kind of a hard slog.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, he just was a little kid. Yeah, but now I'm guessing that we had a much deeper conversation. And then she just says, "Do you want to know how I felt about leaving the show? Watch the episode." So there's one last little item. It's slightly spoilery. So if you don't like slight spoilers, then you should probably take off right now and go to the next section.
But don't go far.
So it's from Robert Kirkman on EW.com. He says, "We already miss Sarah Wayne Callies and would love to have her come back into the show, whether it be flashbacks or something else. Stay tuned."
Or something else. Dun, dun, dun.
And I think I know exactly what he means by that. I can't say.
She's not coming back as a zombie because we are completely convinced, because Kirkman said it, that that Chandler Riggs, that Carl put a bullet in her head.
He did.
Yeah, Kirkman confirmed that. Anyway,
But he said she's a goner. I don't know if Carl maybe shot her in the ear. No, I don't know. I think you're right. Yeah, I totally think you're right, actually. Yeah, not coming back as well.
Maybe a ghost.
Yeah. That's it for the news. Let's take a little break. More comes to us. Let's move on to this Rones. So like I said, we got tons of emails this weekend, so I really pared them down to still a whole bunch. I couldn't include them all, and so if you didn't make it, sorry. Probably because someone else said something similar, but try again next week. So let's go.
Okay, wow, you give me this one.
What? From Kevin.
From Kevin, right? Fuck, man, not fuck. Right, right.
Another sound clip. I thought that was very well said. You know what was the funny thing about this? He wrote, fuck, man, not T-Dog, fuck. Then he sent me another email like 2 minutes later. Don't read that last email if you haven't seen the show. Yeah, that was one of the ones I got like 6:30. And I said, if I would have read that spoiler, it would have been the most entertaining spoiler ever. All right, this is from Justin. He says, well, I cried. I was not expecting this episode at all. All the hate for Lori made me cry. Probably more for Carl than Lori. Well, I have no idea what to expect from now on. Officially, 10 brains out of 5.
Wow. Yeah, we love to do this. This is from Susan. Susan writes, Andrea asking, will all people to vouch for the character of another man? My goodness, I thought Andrea may have grown into a smarter creature than before, but it isn't looking good. Could it be more? Susan? That's a great point.
I still, from Andrea's point of view, I mean, maybe she shouldn't be giving so much information, but unless Michonne says, look, there's bullet holes in that thing over there, you know, she starts voicing some of her concerns, I can see why you might not automatically think that based on what we know. We don't know that the governor, you know, has a zombie aquarium.
Right,
All we know is that he's built this awesome city, and their whole group, all they haven't been able to do anything like that. Anyways, I don't think she's totally being an idiot.
But you know what? She does know that Merle's a jackass.
That's true.
So as for a
But
vouch for the character of a man from this guy, no, I'm with you.
The way she's treating Merle, it seems like, I mean, the way I rationalize it is that when he's not high, he's not as much of a jackass because she's relating to him in a different way now. You know what I mean? She's just talking to him like one of her old friends. So to me, that says they were friendly before. And,
maybe.
Yeah, because I mean, everybody else is acting that way towards Merle. I guess they have a lot of interactions, but anyway, yeah, I don't know. Okay, this is from Michelle. I can't help but thinking how manipulative the quote emotional death scenes were, particularly for a character we barely got to know during the entire first and second seasons. T-Dog. He's ultimate in red shirt characters, and I feel it's a shame that the writers didn't explore his character more. Speaking of sloppy, oh, that's pretty extreme, but anyway. Speaking of sloppy shitty writing, it's doubly a shame that all we learned about the fractured quote my son hates me relationship between Carl and Lori was Lori saying my son hates me. Why the F didn't we see this happen before the powers we decided to kill Lori off the show? This is what happens when a show pays too much attention to what the audience is whining about. The show, e.g., season 2 is too slow paced, we didn't see enough zombies, and then have to sacrifice character and story development in order to pander to the fan crowd. That's harsh. I mean, I agree about T-Dog. I wish that we'd seen some more character development with him, but I didn't need much more about my son hates me. I don't feel like we were missing a lot from that.
And I like it when they don't tell us
Everything.
too much.
I don't feel like that. It doesn't feel rushed to me.
They
But
spend 7 months away from us.
you know, everyone has their own opinions. Yeah, I want to include stuff like this, not just all the raw stuff.
Right,
So I'm
exactly.
here and I'm glad people say what they really feel. This one's from Krista. I cannot believe that they kept T-Dog. Oh, that's your email. Sorry.
I cannot believe they kept T-Dog alive all this time to kill him off like that. He didn't even get to be that high profile death in this episode because then they went and killed off Lori. And it's just for me, or is it just me, or does it seem like Michonne is being wasted right now? Brooding on Andrea does her usual thing of describing the person that has stood beside her for some shiny new person. She shares taking shine to the new governor, much like she did to Shane. Let's hope Michonne fares better than Dale did. I agree. That is an excellent point, Krista. Yeah, you're absolutely right. First I thought, well, maybe she's just being completely clever and I lost a beer.
I don't think she's being wasted though. I don't think that we need to know everything about her right away. And she's not happy. And people like are making fun of her. They like say, you know, the expressions of Michonne, it'll be sad, happy, surprised, and all this sort of face. But I just think she's a hard character and I'm totally fine with that. And I trust that we're gonna learn more about her. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like T-Dog rather than him stuff to do. I think she's gonna get stuff to do. Okay with me, it doesn't happen after that. We'll talk to me again in a few episodes. If it's still exactly the same, then I don't like it.
Yeah,
This is right about it. This is from Rima. I think not only there would be a risk with Lori's pregnancy and surviving the birth, but I hope, and I'm sure others did too, that somehow she and the baby would survive. Lori choosing the baby's life over hers and the speech she gave Carl finally made me respect Lori, something I lost in the second season. Her telling Maggie that it couldn't be Rick that put her down when she spoke volumes, and that Carl was the one that took her out will certainly change it forever. Are there any therapists left in zombie apocalypse? Poor Rick, when he saw Maggie and Carl walking in prison yard with the baby and Lori nowhere in sight, never knew so much anger should be expressed, but Emily did it perfectly. So heartbreaking, it's hard to watch. This is gonna mess him up to say the least. In the beginning of the episode, it seems like Shane should look love when Herschel came walking out of the yard like there was a chance of them healing. So sad I can hardly type it as I'm revealing the scene in my head. Very excited to see the inevitable meeting between Rick and the governor now that Rick is gonna be in a bad place emotionally and to see the dynamic change within the group. The writers have done such a great job, I cannot bother them enough. Keep it up, we're loving it. Could the title of the show not only reflect Andrew wreaking havoc in the prison, but also somehow reference the baby and Lori's wound killing her? Might be stretching the thought to come to mind.
Yeah, throw it in, yeah.
So it seems a little like dark to call a baby that.
Well, maybe that was meant to make us think that that was sort of a red herring, making us think that it was a baby. Yeah. This thing comes from Alex. A few questions for you guys if you don't cover them in your top 5. Where do you think Carol is? We don't know.
I had thought that maybe Axel is really a bad guy, and maybe he's got her, but I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, unless it's something she was not seen by anyone after T-Dog saved her. I will not be happy if they put T-Dog through all that and have her end up dead or as a zombie. Do you think Andrew was the one watching Carol or was someone else?
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew. And lastly, are you all ready to move on from Woodbury? Because I am. No. Whenever they go back, I feel like Michonne and anything regarding Woodbury is
Andrew. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
I'm not sure what you mean.
But I like Woodbury.
Yeah, me too. I want to find out more.
I want to get the groups mixing up and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. That's again, don't get divided. That's Spanish for bit, according to my neighbor who has Yale's RV parked outside his house and sleeps in a hammock outside.
This is from Brittany. Brittany sent her top 5. I'm just going to read a few of them just because I'm editing stuff, but they're all good. This is number 4. T-Dog and a hero, an absolute hero. It was very sweet on talking dead to see Irony. Obviously sad about the fact that he's no longer a cast member. Was he sad?
Yeah.
But the man went on style, saving Carol, who hopefully is just in hiding. We didn't see a body. I'm sticking with that.
Yeah.
2. Lori, how do I even approach this one? Honestly, I never had a deep appreciation for Lori as a character, both in the show and in the comic. That entire scene where she tells Carl that if something feels wrong to not do it, and if it's too easy not to do it, was already killing me. And then she said goodnight love, and I was completely gone. But the absolute worst was the flashback with Rick and Carl in the barn, and that's about when I knew I'd just been traumatized by the TV show.
Aww.
Number 1, Rick at the end. That was horrible. The baby crying and his realization going from Lori had a baby to Lori isn't here, and then the ultimate breakdown when you realize Carl had killed his mother. I mean, we are now going full swing into the mental breakdown mode, and that has me on the edge of my chair more than anything. I think the question of whether or not the show is going to dial back some of the intensity from the comic book has now been pretty well answered. Until next week.
Thanks, Brittany. This is from Dana. Hi, Jason, Karen. It's your Pittsburgh friend Dana. Yeah, Dana. You know, I had to write when I saw that Steele Hines Ward's is going to be a zombie on the show. As you can imagine, my Yinzer side and Geek side are both celebrating. It's big news here in Pittsburgh. I saw the story linked to your website where it's mentioned that they don't know how Hines got to be a zombie on the show. Irene Singleton, who played the recently born T-Dog, played on the University of Georgia's football team. Hines.
Was he in this episode? Do you know anything about that?
I don't. I really need to link to that.
I'm not sure.
All right, Pittsburgh friends, if you could let us know which episode Hines Ward's or Hines Ward.
I think it's Ward.
And also, can you tell me, I know his name is Hines, spelled H-I-N-E-S, but the Hines family, like Hines Ketchup, is huge there, and is there any connection?
No, I think it's that right.
Jason, no, I'm not that into
Is his first name?
No, I don't know.
Oh, let's see if I can catch up.
Well, yeah, I understand how big Hines is in Pittsburgh.
Okay, I'll give you 3 beers if it has anything to do with it.
Help us sister out, people.
This is from Stuart. He said in the top 5. Remember the scene where the Walker suddenly appeared while Herschel was trying on his crutches. I had to laugh because it made me think of Cockneys vs. Zombies trailer, and the old guy with the Walker slowly running away.
That's right.
It was very cool how Carl stood his ground. I also like the symbolism mentioned by Andy Lincoln in the making of the video of how far removed Rick was from his family. Yeah. Yeah, his own damn fault. Number 2, T-Dog, or should I say T-Bone's last name. Number 1, Carl walking out after shooting his mother. His journey to the dark side is almost complete. Yeah, he just kind of walked by with a look on his face, like, just don't talk to me right now.
It's so sad. Thanks for writing, Stuart. This one's from Aaron. So I'm pretty sure I heard in episode 3 of the season that there is a woman that resides in Woodbury that's pregnant. Could she be Rick and Lori's baby's only hope of being fed? I'm pretty sure no one else on the show is lacking. Just saying.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah,
I mean, what else would they do? I don't know if babies can drink milk, cow milk, and be okay. I mean, they told us not to give me that in a pinch. You know, maybe he could, or she could survive.
Or you find a goat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or sheep.
A zombie goat milk.
Or a cat.
This is from Adam. A couple haikus. T-Dog is a champ. Shane or Rick's baby is born. Lori is a tramp. These are very classic, by the way. Here's the next one. Glenn and Maggie fuck. Gate opens and alarm blares. Zombies run amok.
Yeah, they rhyme.
Yeah, that's a summary of that episode. Last one. T-Dog has some lines. Should have known he'd die soon. He's always silent. Very good.
Oh,
Okay, here comes the back and forth reactions.
Okay, and right, I'm numb. Thank God I've been a couple weeks ago. So I have someone help me through this. We're here at the end.
I don't know if we helped, but we're here.
We got it.
Gretchen says, I remember what T-Dog did. That's the first.
Tom writes, I keep walking around my apartment saying, that couldn't have happened. That couldn't have happened.
Tessa, brief haiku. No, 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 no. God, no, no, not Carol 2. No, 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 God, why?
Oh, that's awesome. And Jason writes, another haiku. Governor tees off, drops a walker with a shot. A former golf pro.
Andrew says, a few things I thought were amazing. Herschel being a zombie with crutches. Beth and Carl. I saw that smile they had for each other. T-Dog sacrificing himself for Carol, so sweet. Love the show. Jason, you're awesome. Karen, you should sing more.
I don't think so.
I will not.
Joe writes, this is the best acted and most dramatic series ever put on television in all caps, like I'm shouting.
I totally disagree with that, but it's a good show.
He didn't really
Jim says, I was really taken back. Still am. I'm speechless for a while. How to decompress. It's amazing how many other people I've heard talk about how they had such a strong emotional reaction to this episode. Yeah, it was an emotional bomb off.
Yep.
Right into the room.
Joe Bootu writes, this is my favorite episode yet. Been waiting for this since the pilot. Too bad about T-Dog though.
That was a dig at Lori, by the way. Totally unsettled.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
James says, it made me so sad when T-Dog was saying that God's plan to lead them out. Yeah, me too. It's sad in a way that's like I said, he's still finding a way to be,
right
the right side be helpful.
So it's amazing the dynamic of not sparing the one prisoner only to have him come back and wreak so much havoc. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gonna come back on for sure.
Right.
Susan says they kept us guessing about who was gonna be the first to die. Looked like Herschel. And then Carol, oops, no, T-Dog just got bit, but he's not dead yet. Here comes Lori from the back fixing to take the lead. And it's T-Dog by neck. That's true, because I was thinking about the contest in the middle of all this emotional turmoil, you know, I'm like, I think it's T-Dog, and I feel like jury right now worrying about it. But
Susan's hilarious. Jonathan Miller writes, I felt so horrible for Carl having to excuse his mother. He actually didn't kill his mother. His mother was dead. All he did.
How do you know?
She looked dead. She just had it. She just
She
had
was
it.
unconscious.
I'm gonna say dead.
Okay, I'm saying you don't know that for sure.
Yeah,
She was
you're
probably
right.
gonna die if she wasn't already dead. Yeah.
Yeah. I would have cried a little bit. Luckily, I was in another man's house, so I kept this stiff upper lip. Oh, Jonathan Miller, don't be shy. You let it,
Yeah, let it go. You might be drastic, but it's worth it. Generally says the two prisoners really helped fight another day with so much death this episode. I'm so glad these seemingly harmless guys weren't taken out and got a chance to prove themselves. Not everyone who survives the apocalypse has to be bad, right? You're gonna regret saying that, Daniel. Yeah, betcha. Because Axel is a maniac.
You.
Also, Lori was certainly referring to Shane as she talked about regrets and avoiding doing things that didn't feel right. I thought that too. Yeah, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Like if this really scrappy guy comes along and wants to have sex with you, turn it down. Okay,
say no. Just say no. Jason from Chicago says I'm so much to be from last episode. So much, and I'm not even looking forward to next episode. Oh,
I can see that. I don't want every episode to be like a kick in the stomach.
Yeah, this one will be.
No, it'll be all fun and bright sunshine, smiles and unicorns.
And tea, lots of tea.
Natalie says, my one concern for the show is I hope they don't get into cheesy zombie movie gore. It's almost too much to watch. Some of these scenes are very uncomfortable to watch. I think they're already doing that. There's intestines and heads being chopped in half. What more could there be?
Helicopter pilot.
Yeah. I mean, some Romero, there's more intestines. Yeah. But it's a fine line. I mean, I like to understand a little more about that.
Danny says, like all Glenn scenes, his one-liner, yeah, he does have one good day for once. His confusion when Daryl asked him if he was coming. Oh, goodness. And his zombie kill where he cuts off the zombie's head. We cut the zombie's head now. Amazing.
Michael says, as soon as T-Dog gets in lines, he dies. Why, T-Dog? Why? You should get quiet.
Locke says, Lori's death scene was much more powerful and hit me right in the gut and made me think about my own mama and how I may have taken her for granted sometimes. Okay, everybody, if you can't call your mom, tell you
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks. That's really my
Sure.
I'll talk a little bit. You too. Jeff said, Lori had it coming. I think people forget the very next morning after they were reunited in season 1, she volunteered Rick on a suicide mission to go back from Merle. I feel bad for Rick and Carl, but that's it.
Wow.
That's harsh, man.
He says, a baby really now we can watch him take care of a baby. Damn, I was rooting for zombie baby.
Kimberly says, did you notice how the governor's face was twitching when he was talking to Merle? I think he was about to lose control and was trying to hold in his anger. I did notice that on the top of the wall there, and he was saying, you know, if you show me some proof or some more concrete evidence, I'll come with you. And the way he played that part was so awesome. Like, first of all, when Merle was saying, you know, I want to go out, and he didn't want to, and he had to take just a split second to collect himself. He looked down and he looked like kind of frustrated.
Right.
And he looked at it and go, how about this? And he was back into his role.
Right.
Like that little twitch belied that there's a lot more going on underneath. You know?
Like that actor.
Good actor. Yeah, some people aren't digging it. They say he's boring, but I think he's doing a great job.
I do.
Okay, we got 4 calls. Let's play them. Here is Keith from Wyoming.
Hey, Jason Karen. This is Keith from Wyoming, and oh my God, this new episode. It was epic. That's literally about all I can say. From the opening sequence with the deer to everything about it. I mean, when you see the guy running the beam with the axe and letting the walkers through, we don't know who it is. He's the guy who's probably the one walking down with the C-section. To see out the Lori to the breakdown at the end. Epic episode. I am still in shock. I really just watched it and decided to call you my thoughts. And wow, I am shocked.
He sounds shocked.
He does.
Well, that's my take. I would do zombie noise, but I am under the weather. So stay safe and go get it. Bye, guys.
I know you think exactly what I'm thinking, which is.
Being under the weather is a
It helps.
perfect state.
It already comes out like this. But I'm glad you called me after that because you sound like I felt. Holy shit. That was great. Thanks, Keith. This is Max from Connecticut.
Hey guys, Max Jackson. Sorry to call, but I'm talking about episode 6. First of all, I thought it was a special episode. You know, throughout the whole thing, you know, what you were saying, it's really holy crap, Carl this, this, that. You know, but yeah, I don't know, you're pretty upset. You know, I know Karen's not agree with this, she's not a comic fan, but by killing Lori, they took the successful, you know, memorable, shocking scene from the comics out of the TV show. I don't know if that was a very wise decision. I don't know, I'm just a backlash from comic fans. Second of all, T-Dog, you know, he survived all the possible, you know, death scenes, season 1, 2, and 3 so far, and I really thought they were killing people with his character. Instead, he defends another non-fighter. Did he both die in cool ways? Yes. But did T-Dog complete his story arc? No. Did I think Lori's death is second character a lot? Yes. But did T-Dog? Maybe not so much. Overall, and what's I want to give this episode 4.5 gaps. I'm gonna have to go down to a 3.6. You know, gaps. So, still disappointing, and overall, I really hope that person does it right at the end of this season, and we're going to season for the season, and does a ending that for the economy. Take that back.
Do I like asking myself questions and then answer them? Yes, I do.
I don't want to talk about what happened in the comic, but I know what you're talking about, Max, and I think that the show, that last night's episode was so emotionally impactful, especially as far as Lori goes, even T-Dog, that I'm like, dude, well, how can I complain? You know, I'm sure if they can do what they've been doing so far this season, I'm sure they're going to find a way to make the show continue to be gripping and awesome and just as impactful. So I don't want them to stay close to the comic, even though the scenes are really like the comic anymore. I'm totally on board with what they're doing now. I agree. They should have had a better arc for T-Dog, but yeah.
And also, I got to straight. It's not that I'm not a comic fan. I actually love the comic, but I intentionally didn't read up to this point because I don't want to spoil.
Yeah. Okay. There's another slightly negative perspective, which I like to have.
Let's hear it, man.
No, that was it.
Oh, yeah, and thanks for calling.
Yeah. And here's Grace from Miami.
Hey guys, Jason Karen. This is Grace here from Miami. Hope you guys are doing well. I just wanted to call in and give my 2 cents. My goodness, what an emotional episode this was. This is insane. I don't think I can take any more of this. I really tried so much. All the time we got Lori so much, and I'm just glad to give it a ending. And T-Dog, unbelievable. What a man. I mean, he went out like a true hero. It's just very reminiscent of you know, some of those best hero films where it actually reminds me a lot of them. I don't know if you guys ever saw Prison Break. One of the bars there, he does something similar. I don't want to give that away, but I'm just wow, just really shocked and really just overwhelmed with emotion. One of the things I did, I'm not going to be able to go into the live shows, and I didn't want to, but you know, my excuse doesn't allow it. But one of the things I did want to address was that I was really unbelievable to me was the fact that Lori, the minute she started seeing construction scenes, then immediately Maggie and Paul went into you know, emotions to the baby. And that's really not the way it works in real life. And that's sort of usually it's hours and hours before you know, as soon as you receive your contractions. You know, it takes quite a while for the baby finally, you know, arrive. The only thing that I could possibly think that, you know, could make this, you know, that could make sense is that, well, that, you know, the fact that you do C-section type mom is, you know, maybe that's worth it. But even then, you know, it's not, the baby's usually not ready to come up with this very first contraction. So, I kind of want to go just stick around for a bit longer, but one of it is going, and I'm also very curious as to who won the prize for the first episode.
Conrad Paulson.
T-Dog, and I know you guys are getting away with that, right? So I didn't even guess. I tried, and I was like, you know what, I just can't guess. So anyway, I can't just looking forward to your episode tomorrow, and just want to call in and express how Friday morning I haven't been able to work all day. It was horrible. It's just nothing to screw up my whole week. All right, guys, take care. Bye.
It does sound sad.
Like you can console yourself with the fact that it's not real.
Yeah, or maybe you should watch another show. I was going to say it'll be alright, but it really won't.
It's not fun.
It'll be alright.
Together.
Yeah.
Unless they all move here, and then just go ahead and follow
I'll be happy.
Governor Phillips every quarter.
So, Grace, write in and let me know if you still love the show, even though you bumped out of this week. And then we have one more call.
Hey, Zedheads, this is Mr. Blog calling in to say a special thank you to Jason Karen for having me on last week, and thanks to all the listeners for putting up with me. Also wanted to thank some of the listeners for their very kind words since last week's episode. And I know you have a ton, I'm sure you have a ton of listeners on Runs Around, so I'll make it short, but holy shit, what an episode last night. That was something else. Although not the perfect episode by any stretch of the imagination, more than made up for it in shock value. So I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say, and thanks again. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for the blog. Yeah, we had a great time having you on.
Yeah.
It was very good.
You brought good beer.
Which made me a little belligerent, but it was very good. Now we got one email. This is that email that I got before the episode last night, so I decided to put these ones at the end. So first one's from Michelle. It says, if it turns out that the tea is spiked with some hypnotic drugs to Alexandria, the show will have officially jumped the shark on that one move alone. Ugh, I'm such a gimmick that is older and more trite than the hills. LOL. Yeah, I guess I kind of agree with that. Yeah, I don't want it to be because I won't get the beer.
You can find the chamomile tea.
Yeah, chamomile.
Love that, though. This is from Solid Muldoon from Memphis. Solid Muldoon writes, in your episode 78 discussions of David Morrissey's performance, all y'all talk about is his southern accent. As an actor who has lived or worked in about a dozen places around the region, I want to let you know there's no such thing as a southern accent. The accent you will hear in North Georgia is quite different from the one you will hear in South Carolina or Mississippi Delta, where Alabama, Texas, or Florida. There's even a difference between what you hear in Memphis and Nashville, just 212 miles away. Even in those regions, there are differences between urban and rural and upper class and lower class. The South is a very big place. We don't all talk the same. P.S. The difference between Memphis and Nashville is exactly the same as the difference between London and Paris. The more you know. Thanks for writing,
So
Solid
what do
Muldoon.
you say to that?
I say thanks for writing, Solid Muldoon.
Thanks, y'all. I say, yeah, that's, I mean, I don't know. I think it's nitpicky a little bit. I mean, there is a different way of speaking in general in the South, and there's different versions of that in different regions,
Yeah.
regional accents. But like, like there are some generalities, like they don't do ha like we do hard R,
Right.
And so, I mean, when I say does he have a believable Southern accent, I mean, does he sound like he could have come from somewhere in the South? So maybe he came from Georgia, maybe he didn't come from Georgia. I don't know, obviously, all the different regional accents, but I'm just wanting to know if he convincingly portrays at least one of them, or
Right.
probably only one of them.
I also like to say that all southern accents make me weak in these.
Oh, really?
Hello, Mo.
Nice. Okay, this is from Brian. I'm an 8-year veteran of the U.S. Army with deployments in Iraq and in the relief effort during Hurricane Katrina. Graduated with a bachelor's in criminal justice, mastered in homeland security administration, and also trained as a law enforcement officer.
Dang.
Credentials, yeah. So during podcasts for Walking Dead, episode 4, you guys were commenting on how you believe the military would be capable of taking care of the zombie problem before it spreads globally. I'd like to get insights on how it's being monitored. I was actually really interested in this because it's a big hang for me as far as the zombie thing goes. You want to do it.
Yes.
He says the first initial outbreak would be a law enforcement response. It would not be the opinion of responding officers that it's a zombie incident, but merely assaults by drug crazed suspects.
Yeah.
Especially because in the Kirkman universe, there's no zombie. We don't know about zombies.
Right.
Initial protocol would be to arrest via less than lethal means such as taser, pepper spray, and hands-on techniques. These are not effective. The officer would deploy his or her duty weapon, in which we're trained to shoot center mass, which we've heard before on the show. From the search report, she knows it's not effective, and the officer getting injured or eaten. The scenario would set the stage for multiple infections by medical and first responders, and possibly their families if the injuries were light and the responder went home to fight them. Number 2, in the beginning, the dead's strongest weapon is disbelief in the existence of the living dead and lack of understanding of the enemy by responding forces. I can see that. It's in denial. No law enforcement officer is going to put in a report quote suspect is believed to be a zombie.
Unless the law enforcement officer is me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe now that we're inundated with zombie stuff, I bet you there would be a much quicker response. So all of this that I'm reading from you right now, I'm filtering that through the fact that in the Walking Dead TV show, they don't seem to know about zombies. As the virus spreads, no governor is going to mobilize the National Guard to deal with the Walking Dead. It will be believed in the beginning of something else, but it will still be a living foe. Rules of engagement, old military doctrine will be in effect. Military is usually fighting the last war at the start of the current war. The insurgencies in Iraq and Afghanistan are good examples of this. And then finally, by the time the outbreak reaches federal levels of bureaucracy, it's probably too late. The outbreak will more likely disrupt critical infrastructure capabilities as well as just-in-time inventory supply efforts for large grocery stores, which the majority of the Americans get their food from. How much food do you have in your house? Not enough. During Katrina, disrupted these services cause mass civil unrest after 3 days. That's about the average time you have before civil unrest happens during major events, which all services are cut and no relief is available. The relief effort is fighting the endemic and then dealing with the population that is losing its head to fear and wanting basic survival needs met. A two-front war, so to speak. Imagine this worldwide, especially in countries like China and India with over 1 billion people each. This is a quick synopsis that could be expanded to a dissertation on government response to disasters that eat people. You should write that, man.
Yeah, that's really great.
And very disconcerting.
And yeah, very, very concerning. I mean, it's as as movies like Contagion have pointed out, it's like when a virus breaks out, how do you contain it? And the answer is usually you try your hardest, and it'll be.
And you have to city at some point.
And then you have to city. Okay, this is from Mark. I just wanted to mention that ambush scene last episode could have been done better. As a former U.S. military officer and Iraq war vet, OIF3, I feel it highly likely that it would not have gone down that way. I do believe that at least half would have been killed, but that is because we're only studies targeting soldiers. But as it happens, the other soldiers would react, i.e., at least killing the governor and yell ambush and drop to the ground or be less target. This is very basic military skill everyone in the army is trained on. So you have all soldiers with rifles at the weapons ready position. Someone would at least hit the governor as soon as he pulled out his weapon. I couldn't agree more with you, Mark. I watched it a couple times and I was like, somebody's gonna drop the gun. And the governor just stands there. He doesn't retreat back to the jeep. And you think the minute they're starting fire on you think, okay, maybe somebody's going to try to get me, so I should really drop the ground and retreat back to the jeep. But no, he just stands there.
I think this scene would have worked really well back in the days before the internet could pick things apart and unite critics to make it into a louder criticism.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's not really realistic, but it was cool.
Yeah, it was a really cool scene, but not
Yeah. Good points. John, last one. John says, I was the guy who emailed you when Sandy hit and we lost power. And I wanted to conserve my battery, so I only gave you a small quick email. It's been so freaky since Sandy hit, I've been cut off completely. You probably hear Nico crying in the background here. Sorry. No power, no radio, cell phone use was minimum, if any. It took like 5 minutes to make phone calls to somebody to see how they were doing. My community stuck together, helped out removing trees in people's yards. Finally, we were able to get generators. A tree landed on my house, but it's only cosmetic damage, so I was lucky. Meanwhile, the block 2 blocks, 3 blocks away from me, houses are crushed, and cars are crushed by trees in people's driveways. It's total chaos. I finally went to work Thursday morning, and it was so eerie. It's the way I pictured to be almost a zombie apocalypse minus the zombies. Leaving the house to go to work is pitch black, not a soul out. Some roads are closed, and all you hear is the roar of 100 generators pumping to get power to your house. Being without the internet TV, you don't know what's going on. A lot of businesses are closed. No newspapers until I got to work and somebody brought a newspaper, and I was able to see some pictures of what happened to the coast and the damage that I've seen. Finally, Thursday night, I get power. And maybe an hour after that, I get TV, and I'm able to see the damage from the storm. No more boardwalk. The shoreline is totally white clean. I saw pictures of a roller coaster that stood on the boardwalk for years, and it's now still into the ocean. Pictures of marinas with boats on top of boats, boats sunk, houses shifted from their foundations, or what's left of the house. Just horrible. Just glad my family made it out okay. And I was able to get cable back before Sunday, so I won't miss the next episode of Walking Dead. Haha, that was good.
Oh, John, thank you for writing.
Yeah, that was a good. I'm glad you wrote that. I wanted to know what it's like, and I'm glad that you and your family are okay. We had messages from a couple of listeners, and they and their families were okay too. But I'm sorry to hear about all the devastation and everything.
Oh man,
it's horrible.
everybody know what we think about you.
Yep. Thanks again, John. Okay, let's move on to Comic Talk. As usual, if you haven't read the comic and you don't want to potentially be spoiled on the plot of the show or on the plot of the comic, you might want to skip. You will want to skip the section, but otherwise, I think it should be pretty interesting. Take it away, Dean.
Hey there, everybody. This is Jaden back from the Comic Talk. For the record, I'm going to start calling you guys Deadites. I'm going to steal that from Army of Darkness and Criminal Minds. So, hey, Deadites. Alrighty. So this week I've got some interesting stuff to talk about. Because man, was this a really intense episode. I think it's safe to say I'm not the only one that broke down in tears by the end of it. So, really good job, Walking Dead writers. You got me. So, some of the big things that happened. We finally found out who the prisoner was watching Carol. That was the guy that Rick left out in the field all by himself. So now we know he wasn't eaten by zombies, even though that caption lied to me and said the zombies were eating him. Thanks for captioning. He's only back in the prison and starts causing all kinds of havoc. We kind of had this in the comics with the gay couple. How when one of them wasn't being treated the way he thought he was supposed to, the other one started doing things for him, like finding guns, and ended up laying out all the zombies from one of the extra cell blocks. So it's kind of an analogy there, but they did it in a different manner. Also, I like seeing one of the prisoners get a hold of Rick's gun and shoot the asshole guy that let everything out and jeopardize all their lives. That's really cool. He kind of earned Rick's trust this way, even though he was the guy that said, I'm not going to for my life. Here's the I'm doing it this way. In the comics, when we had Lori die, she died almost meaninglessly. It was when the Woodbury crew came in and shot everybody up, and she and the baby Lily both get shot as they're trying to escape prison. Now, while Rick gets to fight with the whole, oh my god, Lori's dead thing like that, now we have a lot more in that she dies in childbirth, so now we got the baby to remember her by. And at the same time, Carl really had to grow up, and she was mom so she wouldn't come back from the dead. That's big. That is huge. Because now we've got Carl with even more weight on his shoulders. It's like how they made Shane's death work a lot more in the TV show than they did in the comic, which is why I'm really liking all the changes in the TV show. It's like they're taking the comic and using it as a first draft and really fleshing it out the way they're doing it now. Some of the other things we got where we see Angela kind of falling for the governor, and him finally saying his name is Philip, which we did get that in the comics, we got that in the novels, but they didn't look like they were going to go that way with the TV show. Now you've also got Merle wanting to go back and find Daryl, and I like the governor manipulating him and trying to keep him from actually finding his brother while still trying to support him. It's like keeping Merle on a leash, and it's really building more of the governor's character and making him a lot deeper this way. Now I got a lot of changes as far as storylines. We seem to be going all new directions in the comic. I have no idea where this is all going to end up, but I am confident that it's going to stay quite interesting and quite exciting. Also, I lost the pool. T-Dog is the first to die, and it made me something. T-Dog became such a integral character this season, and he died trying to save Carol's life. We still don't know if she survived or not. My guess is she did, but we lost quite a beloved character on the show. I'm going to miss T-Dog. That's about all I got for this week for you guys. So tune in next week, and until then, don't get bit.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jane. I, as usual, appreciate you. And I wanted to say a couple more things about the comic because I thought this episode really had a significant departure from the comic. One thing I'm wondering if Andrew, so he's a sneaky guy, comes along and plants all these traps and opens the zombie gates and everything. And one of my favorite things from the comic was the whole murder mystery. And Herschel's two twin girls got their heads chopped off, and we didn't know who it was for a while, and it ended up being Thomas. And so I don't think they're going to do anything like that. At first, I thought maybe they would have Beth get her head chopped off and have one of these prisoners be the culprit. But I think maybe this whole thing with Andrew is their substitute for that. Somebody, one of the prisoners is causing trouble, and they don't know who it is, and then they find out. So that's a similar, it's a pretty different story, but it's also similar. So I think maybe that's it. And I guess I'm satisfied with that, although I did like the story in the comic a little better. But it was done pretty well here. Obviously, Maggie and Glenn in the guard tower is a huge nod to how much they did it on in the comics. They spend a lot of time on the sex part in the comics. I don't know if they'll still do that in the show. I thought it was cute that they had it in there. Another thought I had is I think doing things similarly to the comic but different, it lets us have the same impact to those of us who read the comic, even though we already read it. Like for example, Dale got his leg chopped off, but since he's already gone, in my mind, I'd totally forgotten about that. So when it happened to Herschel, it was like the first time. And I think Carl, he was supposed to shoot Shane. He shot Shane, live Shane that is, in the comic, and it helped sort of inform his character. He got darker. Well, now he shoots zombie Shane, which isn't quite as dark, but shooting Laurie, that's even worse. I mean, that really, now we're going to be paying attention to Carl and seeing how dark things get with him. I mean, that's got to change the person if you have to kill your mother. So that's even more intense in the comic, I thought. Let's see, poor Carl. I guess that's about it. All right, let's move on to next week on Walking Dead.
Okay, next week on Walking Dead, episode 5, and the title is Say the Word. The description is after another loss, Rick struggles. Michonne remains suspicious of the governor as he throws a party with a unique twist for the people of Woodbury. That's interesting, party. And it's directed by Greg Nicotero.
Oh, cool.
Nicotero. Love him. He, as you may remember, he directed the episodes.
Yeah, and last year's episode where Dale got it.
Judge, Jury, and Executioner, and did a great job. And was actually one of our favorite interviews.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. So he's going to direct. And the writer is Angela Kang. And so Angela Kang, you may have heard her name a couple of times. She's producer of the season. She's been a writer and story editor. She wrote the season. She wrote Secrets. And last season she wrote Judge, Jury, and Executioner, which Greg Nicotero directed. So they're pairing up again for Say the Word. And I watched. They have a next week on Walking Dead video. Watched a funny one. Actually, I've seen a couple.
Spoiler, by the way, if you want to hear
yeah, scroll ahead. But this is a sneak peek. It's actually not. It's really not much of anything. It's Axel and Oscar try to go over and comfort Green Glenn. And Glenn's digging a grave, and they're like, "Oh, dude, I'm really sorry. Those must have been really good pals." And he's like, "They're family." And they're very nice. And then eventually hands him the shovel and says, "I need two more."
Which I guess is sort of like reaching out a hand, but actually it's saying do more work for me.
Right, exactly. By the way, speaking of Steven Yeun, he was in, I swear to God, New York Times loves The Walking Dead, and they had a cute little thing that's all about Steven Yeun, and I thought the cutest little thing was they asked him to eat, and he says, whenever I come back to LA, I always have to make a quick stop at my brother's food truck. It's called the Bun Truck. They serve Asian fusion bao buns, and I'm sure that sounds nice. He says, well, it actually
I love those.
Me too. I was
Wow.
going to say, it does sound nice, but it also sounds delicious.
I was in China, we lived on that.
Did you really?
Yeah, we did all the time.
Oh, that's great. So, did you good?
All right, ready to close it out?
I am.
All right, that's our show, episode 79. Thanks so much for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
We're having a lot of fun this season, right?
Yeah.
Thanks again, Jane Walker. You can find his music by searching for The Eternal on iTunes. Stevie Baby is also The Eternal on Twitter and Half.net. Anytime you'd like to leave us a message, you can call us at 650-45-DEAD. That's 650-45-3323.
You can email us at brains@walkingdead.com.
You can check our website, walkingdeadcast.com, and don't forget to click through our Amazon link on there whenever you shop at Amazon. We'll get a little credit for it.
And we're also on Twitter, Jason Karen, on Facebook, facebook.com/deadcast.
And our next contest is coming to an end pretty soon. What's the date today?
It's like the 5th, yeah. I
And
think
7
it's
days.
the 7th.
We said the 9th. Yeah, so it's before our next episode. So we've gotten a lot of great entries. Mostly people dressing themselves off their kids as zombies. It's cute. I'm only going to say like we love Jason Karen and stuff like that.
Thank
So
you so
we're
much.
gonna, only one person can win, but it's so much fun to get these, and we'll definitely post all of them on our new page to bring people together for us. So look forward to that. Okay, that's our show.
Thanks for listening. Don't have an impromptu
C-section.
John Boyd.
What does it mean to live for the common good? Introducing the Garrison Institute presents the common good, the brand new